Alright, into NBA 2K's cheating problem is getting worse. Let's get it.
Last week, I made a video about cheating taking over NBA 2K26. And at that time, obviously, it was everywhere. But in the last 7 days, it seems like cheating has gone from something that was done commonly and certain types of cheating just coming up to pretty much every park game being taken over by cheaters. And the general sentiment in the community being that it is nearly impossible to play this game without coming up against a cheater.
This game is unplayable. They lag switching me. I am getting zenned on game after game. What do I do?
Cheating on 2K26 is so out of hand that I hardly touch the part anymore. People are out there pushing. I really run into cheating. Yeah, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. And park is kind of hard, bro. Park is very hard. I've only played like 10 park games, bro. It's so hard. Maybe that's the reason why, because freaking cheaters, bro. Like, so why is there more cheaters on park than like theater or rec? I don't understand that.
In the last week alone, we've seen more suspicious gameplay. We've seen the lag switching be.
And I just had surgery on my forehead too. That's why my face looks like this, by the way.
Become extremely common, and not only that, we have seen literal impersonation to try win 10,000.
Hell no. Katniss is the first in the world and king of the court. What?
$1,000 in my team. It's scary enough that cheating exists at all, but now we're at the stage where it is $1,000 in my team.
It's Cash Nash. Cash Nash is the first in the world and king of the court. What the
It's scary enough that cheating exists at all, but now we're at the stage where it is evolving. On a weekly basis, it is evolving. Not only is it evolved way faster than what 2K are able to patch, it's evolving faster than what the community are even able to react to. At this stage, it's not even about competitive integrity. It's about trust between the player base and 2K themselves. And at this stage, in 2K26, there is none. So let's start with what people already know. The Corona Zen was the original cheating device. This is a very easy to pick up device, relatively cheap use, and it can mimic player input. You can put scripts onto a Corona Zen and it will guarantee you time the same every single time. But the Zen isn't perfect.
How does it even work?
It can struggle sometimes in latency. At times the script is slightly off and you will then miss every single shot because of it. And there are just certain situations where a Zen just malfunctions. It is the most entry-level way of cheating. It will cheat in offline. It will cheat almost as a VC method offline if you want to use it for that.
So even even if you can test it, like the best, like bro, the best you can, you'll still green it. Interesting.
Things that you can use a Zen
I don't know
for
that's
cheating.
how it works,
but
see,
in
like
general, the
face.
Zen playing online isn't going to be perfect.
Bro, right in his face.
And if it was just Zens would be absolutely manageable because 2K found plenty of ways of patching Zens back in the day in NBA 2K21.
So they can't
Whatever about the Zen, it is the Titan that is a real problem for players. The Titan is able to adapt. When you pair it with external software, it is basically able to guarantee you to time releases correctly. Doesn't matter about lag, doesn't matter about anything else. There are certain softwares, there are certain scripts that you can put into a Titan to guarantee that they work every single time. And it's not only that they time things correctly. A Titan will play defense for you. A Titan will give you unlimited stamina.
What?
A Titan can literally lag switch your opponent. If you are playing against somebody who has the correct settings on their Titan, you're not only playing against your opponent, you're pretty much playing against an algorithm, a computer that's able to respond at the time. And even if you can find a way of stopping a Titan and beating them, even if they are cheating, they can just go and lag switch.
Yeah,
lag switching can manipulate connection in crucial moments of games. People aren't stupid. They're not using lag switch the entire time. They're using it to just about get open. If they need a dunk, they're guaranteed to get it. They can use it to pretty much guarantee you miss time a shot. And at this stage, like, cheating has moved from timing assistance and assistance with shooting, things like that, to completely manipulating the entire environment of the game. And if you play Park regularly, you know something's changed. Especially if you are in the States. It's not quite as bad in Europe, it's not quite as bad in Australia. But if you're in America, you're pretty much going into almost every session of online play expecting to come up against cheaters. Cheating in 2K is the most common I've seen cheating in a game since J-tagged Xboxes in Modern Warfare 2. Yes, I am old. But the psychological shift of this might be the biggest factor, rather than just the game experience, because now you're going in with an expectation someone's cheating. And if somebody you're coming up against is just a demon at the game, there's now an assumption that they're cheating. There are so many cheaters that it's now gone from a stage where of every 10 really good players you would play, one might be a cheater back in the day.
I don't know how you
maybe 6 are cheaters. Because when you come up against someone who's good, you now have the mentality of, oh damn, I'm facing a cheater, and that changes everything. You get frustrated at it. You get frustrated at the game, you get frustrated at 2K, you get frustrated at everything that's going on. Whereas before, you might have locked in and said, okay, this is a good player, I'm going to go and win this game. Now there's that kind of hope that's gone. When you are facing somebody that you believe is a cheater, you know in the back of your head there's going to be a nearly impossible task of winning the game. And there are times where, to be honest, the player is completely legit and it's paranoia on your end. But 2K's environment has created that paranoia. It's now at the stage where if you're not cheating, you feel like you're being punished, and that's creating even more cheaters to even the playing field. And when it feels like playing legitimately is a punishment, that is when the game loses complete trust of its player base. But now let's look at the competitive scene. There is a mechanic in 2K called rhythm shooting. Whereas before, you pressed the square button and you shot. Now for rhythm shooting, you flick down and back up. Down, back up. You have to do this at a certain rhythm, but your timing is irrelevant, it's just the rhythm. Competitively, rhythm shooting is way easier. An elite rhythm shooting player at times can look like they are cheating even though they're playing legitimately. And when greening and being able to perfectly time shots or perfectly rhythm shots becomes easier, it becomes harder to differentiate between people that are cheating and people that are playing legitimately. So what are competitive leagues doing? They are outright banning rhythm shooting. You are no longer allowed to rhythm shoot in a lot of the top leagues, basically almost handicapping certain players to try to prevent cheating. And does this prevent cheating? No. It just makes cheating easier to spot. It's much easier to spot somebody that's using a Zen when they're using timing, because there are certain things that you can only do with a Zen that is pretty much not humanly possible with timing. However, some of these things can be humanly possible using rhythm shooting. And when competitive leagues are literally nerfing core mechanics, nerfing a controller, because of how poor 2K's internal anti-cheat is, you know something's gone really wrong. And it's impossible to build any sort of a competitive game or esports ecosystem where after every game someone asks, where are they cheating? And that is where we are right now in 2K. And now let's move on to my team, which is my game mode of choice. Zenning is obviously something that happens. Titan, whatever you want to call it, aimbot in shooting. It's something that happens, and it's something that is always going to be a factor, and it's been a factor since the dawn of time. However, it's not quite as relevant. You have the ability to control all 5 players, the CPU controls players, and you can contest and force people into certain shots that it is kind of irrelevant. Yes, you're going to be at a disadvantage, but you can definitely beat someone cheating if you're better than them at the game. But that doesn't mean that my team's clean. Cheating just looks different. Because in my team, they have the biggest cash prize pool of $10,000 every single week. And the winner the last 5 weeks has been a guy by the name of Ty Debo. And naturally, when somebody wins a competition time after time after time again, people believe there's some form of cheating or manipulation. It's not the fact that Ty literally plays 50 games a weekend, beats every single other player on the top leaderboards, and has already won 2 of the 250k tournaments and would have won another one had his Xbox not gotten locked out years ago, while also winning the guts of $1 million in prize money in 5v5 2K and being considered as the greatest 5v5 2K player of all time. People still, for some reason, think he's cheating. A lot of players believe he has an advantage because people recognize him and are less likely to quit when they see his username. And while there's definitely some advantage to be gained there, he has started streaming all of his runs, facing off against players at the top of leaderboards and demolishing them all. And also showing that equally as many people quit against him as other players, he just plays long enough that he has the advantage of getting 4 good games in. And this is another kind of crazy issue, that consistently winning triggers suspicion because nobody has a clue what's going on, and 2K's system has been a disaster. And that is what the culture of cheating in this game mode has done. And now we're seeing a completely new form of, I don't know if you can consider this cheating, but we've seen impersonation. So Ty Debo's gamertag on Xbox is TyCFB. On leaderboards, there is number 1, TyCFB, his actual account. Number 4, Thai CFB with 2 underscores. And also on the top 10 is Thai CFB with 1 underscore. There are 3 accounts in the top 10 called Thai CFB. Other accounts in the top 10 are It's Cash Nasty and It's Los Polos TV. 2 of the biggest streamers to have ever come out of the 2K community. And last night, Ty Debo was facing off against the It's Cash Nasty PSN name. Obviously, some people were saying it's Cash, and Ty was like he knew it wasn't Cash, because Cash was streaming reactions at the same time while someone was impersonating him in number 2 in the leaderboards, facing off against Ty. I don't know if you can consider this a form of cheating. I don't know if this is just a fuck you to 2K.
Do you do that?
I don't know. I actually don't know what this is. But at the same time, is it psychological manipulation? I don't know what to call this. I don't even know if you can consider this cheating, but that's the stage we've gotten to my team. People are doing this. And while this is going on, there are still people using a Titan to no-loss glitch people. You can put a script on a Titan in my team that once you start the script, the game ends. You don't get the loss, they don't get the win. It's just a no-loss glitch. You can get out of a game without taking a loss, and it pretty much renders the game null and void. At least it doesn't give the person who gets hit with the loss a Titan. There are still people using a Titan to no-loss glitch people. You can put a script on a Titan in my team that once you start the script, the game ends. You don't get the loss, they don't get the win. It's just a no-loss glitch. You can get out of a game without taking a loss, and it pretty much renders the game null and void. At least it doesn't give the person who gets hit with it a loss, but it can basically just end the game at any time. And while we haven't seen anyone near the top of the leaderboard use it this week or last week, it just still creates distrust between the players and 2K. And we need to be honest. People are blaming the pure green window on this, but we've had people zenning and manipulating stuff and cheating in other years when there has been no pure green window. People think that this is just on a 2K game mechanic, but it's not. Not about the pure green window, it's not about rhythm shooting. If 2K removed those tomorrow, cheaters would adapt. Because this is essentially some sort of a software arms race. Enough people have Zen's Titans now that they're always going to adapt and they're always going to figure out a way. And until 2K puts in some sort of anti-cheat that is able to figure out when someone's plugged one of these into their console, there's nothing that they're going to do. They will never outpace the hackers. For years, 2K have changed shot timing, have added in things like rhythm shooting, have added, taken away, moved the pure green window, have added hitches to jump shots, have added delays to jump shots, have added fumbles to catches. They have ruined their core game experience to try stop these devices who are able to adapt. So all they have done in that time is made the game worse for the players. They've made it a worse gaming experience in order to try get a step ahead of cheaters who are always going to be 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of them, as long as they don't develop some form of anti-cheat that does not allow you to use third-party devices into your console. And even if they do that, who's to say that a Zen or a Titan won't figure out some way of spoofing the console so that they don't get read? Now, I don't know what 2K are going to do coming into NBA 2K27, because this is something that I don't know if they're going to be able to stop, because the Titans and the Zens have become so common practice that I feel like they're going to be able to adapt. The coders are going to be able to adapt quicker than 2K, because 2K don't have an entire development team trying to work on undoing cheats in the game. Whereas that's pretty much what these coders are trying to work on undoing cheats in the game. Whereas that's pretty much what these coders do. Will it just be a case where public games are the Wild West and leagues have to self-regulate like they're doing this year? Are 2K going to have to get rid of any inbuilt competition, because there's pretty much no way of regulating that and stopping a cheater from winning? Because if 2K launches without even addressing the root of this problem, because it's not about game mechanics, it's not about bringing in or taking away stuff, it's not even necessarily about the gameplay itself. It's about creating an environment where cheating is not expected, because you can't build any sort of competitive game. Heck, you can't even build a fun casual game where there is zero community trust online. And this is a video that I've made 1 week after a cheating video. It seems like things have gotten worse, because a week ago, people thought the lag switching was like a campfire story, that it wasn't real. And now in Park, apparently you're seeing it all the time. People are figuring out new and creative ways to cheat on this game on a daily basis. And while, yes, videos like this bring to light the cheating, it might mean there's more cheating in 2K26. But at the end of the day, 2K26 is a lost cause. And I do feel like the more light there is being brought to it in 2K26, the more chance there is of 2K27 fixing the problem.
I ain't gonna lie, the start of the game was pretty good, though. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they... That's crazy, bro. Man.